right, thanks for that. Well, the Razorbacks will take the court tomorrow in the Sweet 16. Razorbacks are lighting up San Jose.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game for sure. I believe in us. I think a lot of people out there do. Alex Stewart and Beau are in San Jose to follow all the action. Take a look.
We have made it to San Jose. And so have the Razorbacks. Behind me, as you'll see, is the SAP Center, where tomorrow Arkansas is going to face off against the top-seeded Arizona Wildcats in the Sweet 16 in hopes of keeping their dance alive into the Elite Eight. But don't you worry, you don't have to wait until tomorrow to get in on that hog action. Beau, Russell, and I are going to have you covered all throughout the day. We're going to be at practice. We're going to hear from the players. We're going to hear from Coach Cal. We're going to get you completely set, so by the time tip-off occurs, you know exactly what's about to go down. We are super excited to be here to bring you all the madness, and I have a feeling that in just a few hours, the SAP Center is going to be full and loud and proud of those hog calls, because if I know one thing, it's that Razorback Nation travels for their team. But be sure to keep up on all that team news throughout the day on 5 News, as well as our app, 5 News Plus. I can't wait to bring all of that Sweet 16 goodness to your screens. But for now, signing off from the SAP Center, I'm Alex Stewart, 5 News.
All right, don't forget, we'll have a special Chasing a Championship pregame show with Beau and Alex right here on Channel 5. That'll be at 5:30 tomorrow night. It'll also be streaming over on the 5 News Plus app.
And it's spring break week, and with gas prices on the rise and inflation prices, many are looking into staycations.
Yeah, what a great place to do it if you live in Arkansas and Oklahoma, right? We live in a beautiful spot. All right, if you want to stick around, save some money, 5 News reporter Claire Averbach joining us now. She's at Hobbs State Park with more. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Tiffany. Well, if you're lucky enough to have this week off, maybe you are going somewhere far away or even out of the country. But if you are a local and live in Arkansas or Oklahoma, there are plenty of activities to do right here at home. Hobbs State Park is one of many parks in the state encouraging staycations. Arkansas has a total of 52 state parks, and park leaders say that most people live within 60 miles of a park. Hobbs State Park, as well as many others, offer hiking, biking, camping, and bird watching. While many Arkansans may look to travel out of state, there's plenty of beauty to experience right in their own backyard, while also saving money. Tourism leaders say Northwest Arkansas has grown significantly over the last 5 years, becoming a destination for visitors from across the country. And they say people who live here can take advantage of those same outdoor spaces.
Tourism is the second largest industry in the state of Arkansas. We become a full-fledged destination statewide, and certainly as much as that here in Northwest Arkansas. And tourism in Northwest Arkansas has grown. It's a very important economic driver, very important part of our economy. It helps community development, provides a lot of jobs and a lot of recreational opportunities for our residents as well as for our visitors.
Shaw says that tourism season in Arkansas peaks starting in March and goes through November when that weather is warmer. And as Danny mentioned earlier, it's going to start to warm up today. So today might be a great way to get out to your local closest state park and kick off spring break. You can also find more information about the closest state park to you on our website, 5newsonline.com. Live in Rogers, covering news where you live, Claire Averbach, 5 News.
All right, thanks for that, Claire. Well, Baptist Health says that it is making significant operational changes at its hospital in Fort Smith.
Yeah, and a statement from the CEO, Troy Wells, there at Baptist Health. He says that the transition will happen over the next 12 to 18 months, saying that some services will be transitioned out of the hospital, but some will get reinvested. The statement also says the services will be consolidated at the downtown campus in order to support future facility investments. Now, he said in part that hospitals are facing rising costs, workforce shortages, and changes in how care is delivered, saying that this requires health systems to evaluate how best to provide care in sustainable ways. Now, right now, 5 News is working to learn more about what services are being impacted and how this could impact patients. Well, new data shows that the commercial real estate market in Northwest Arkansas is still pretty strong.
This comes even as new construction could slow down. The new Arvit Skyline report released on Tuesday shows that vacancy rates in the second half of last year dropped more than 7% from the first half of 2025, even with 400,000 square feet of commercial space entering the market. That means businesses are still moving in and demand is strong.
I think our customers are seeing opportunities, but they're taking advantage where they are. We're starting to see them find those maybe gaps, especially in commercial real estate. And so definitely have an appetite for new opportunities.
Well, building permits fell to the lowest amount since the first half of 2017. Experts say construction could slow down in the months ahead as higher interest rates and uncertainty could be making some developers wait. Well, President Trump has signaled a deal to end the partial government shutdown may be close.
Yeah, the potential agreement would involve funding most Department of Homeland Security agencies, including TSA, FEMA, and the Coast Guard, while withholding funds for ICE while reforms are made. Meanwhile, security lines in a number of U.S. airports lasted hours on Tuesday, with some lines extending outdoors.
And we're learning more details as the National Transportation Safety Board investigates the events that led to an Air Canada jet crashing into a fire truck at New York's LaGuardia Airport. It happened Sunday night, killing both pilots and injuring multiple passengers. Then TSB revealed the technology made to prevent a collision, the airport service detection system, did not activate because the fire truck was not equipped with a transponder. Meanwhile, a passenger on the Air Canada plane recounted the moment that she noticed the cockpit was badly damaged.
There's sirens and red lights flashing everywhere, and it just felt surreal to see that cockpit just mangled and dropping down to the ground.
Then TSB confirmed 2 air traffic controllers were on duty at the time of the crash, but the NTSB chair said that it was unclear who was in charge of communicating with vehicles on the ground when the crash happened. Well, the U.S. is preparing to send 5,000 troops to the Middle East on top of the 50,000 already deployed.
Yeah, this comes as the U.S. and Israel's war with Iran stretches into its 4th week. President Trump says that the U.S. is in negotiations with Iran to end the war. However, a spokesperson for Iran's military suggesting the U.S. was negotiating with itself.
There are mediators, other countries that are carrying messages in between the two. We think there's been some contact, some direct contact, but it hasn't been very significant.
Well, Tuesday, President Trump suggested Iran is offering a, quote, present involving oil and gas and the Strait of Hormuz, which comes as average gas prices up nearly $4 a gallon. And of course, we just told you about the flights cutting back due to the rising cost of jet fuel.